안녕하세요 여러분. 따라하오. Hello everyone, my name is Amyah. I am 18 years old and I'm currently learning Korean and Chinese. The Korean and Chinese entertainment industry is quite toxic, as we all know. They have a lot of crazy beauty standards and not that much diversity in their dramas and movies and things like that. But I just want to tell you guys why the entertainment industry is so impactful and why it's really toxic. With such little diversity that they have in their Korean dramas and Chinese dramas and their whole TV and entertainment industry, it was such a big hit for really a lot of the Asian community. I'm gonna stick with speaking about Korea and China because that's what I did my research on. It had such a big hit when the new Little Mermaid movie came out. Yes, we're talking about the live action one with Halle Bailey. Wait, how do you say her name?
Halle Bailey.
Yes, I'm talking about the new Little Mermaid movie with Halle Bailey and the very first black Little Mermaid. She's the first black Ariel, and she's the first Ariel we see after the remake, obviously. So Disney has this whole thing where they keep remaking their movies. Who knows why? I mean, probably for the money. They either make new movies to add in diversity element, as we've seen with Moana. They added a new Pacific Islander princess just to give representation to more people. And I mean, I always feel like that's nice. They don't always execute, but a lot of times they do okay. And then they have when they just remake movies and put in a more diverse cast, such as the Cinderella movie where they had the new one with Brandy, Whitney Houston, I think. Some other people, you know, the prince was Asian. And so for the Little Mermaid, they put out the live action version, a black Ariel, realistic looking like Flounder and Sebastian, a whole new like diverse cast when it comes to the princesses and the other mermaids and the other mermen. And so over here in America, you know, it's a very mixed situation. It was about half and half. I think half of the people were like, oh, why is Ariel black? Like, what is going on? Like, diversity is not that important, that all type of thing. And then the other half of the group, which were like mainly black people, and other people were like, yeah, this is like perfectly fine. Why are we even talking about this? We're really excited. We had that whole trend where black children would look at the trailer for the first time and be like, oh, she looks like me. That whole thing. Because the next generation of kids right now are getting the representation that the generation before never got. And so I think that's why it makes it so important. Over here in America, it was about split 50-50. However, on the global spectrum of this movie, it did not do so well, at least in the beginning parts. In Korea and China specifically, it was a huge downfall in terms of like how many people went to go see the movie. I mean, there was a movie that came out the exact same week and had 10% more people watch it. It was something like The Little Mermaid had 600,000 in the box office and the other movie had like 6 million. And you might be wondering, why did the movie not do well? Let me just tell you why. On SNS, the hashtag Ariel and Not My Ariel were going viral. In both countries, Korea and China, people were upset because Ariel was black and not white, how they, you know, imagined it growing up seeing the cartoon version of the movie. I was really interested in this when I saw this on a trending topic, and I found an article. Let me just start off with the title of this article. 말 많은 인어공주 배우 주전점 챗GPT listen 흑인 없어다. The article's title is basically they asked ChatGPT to give me a list of actors to play the Little Mermaid. And what they're saying is ChatGPT did not give them one black actor. So now that we know the title of this article and the way it's geared towards, let's just read the rest. So the article said, 인어공주 화면을에 하얀 피부에 빨강고 긴 머리를 떠올리기 마련입니다. 아무래도 흑인 인어공주는 어릴 적 책이나 영화에서 흔히 본 이미지는 아니기에 어색한 건 사실입니다. Basically saying that when they imagined the Little Mermaid, they imagined a white-skinned, long red hair mermaid princess. It was awkward in the movie when they saw a black mermaid with red hair. This is just the response, at least the negative response. I'm sure there's tons of people who love the movie, but this was the negative response in Korea. And to me, this shows that what the Korean entertainment industry and movies and Korean drama and artists, things like that, what they're pushing out is not that much diversity, or else these people probably wouldn't have found it as weird. They wouldn't take it as, oh, it's so like awkward, like why is she black? And the fact that she's not even that dark skinned, she's really not even that dark skinned. She still had the red long hair, she still was a mermaid in the water. They didn't change the whole movie. She was just like darker, like that was it. The fact that that made such an impact on these people to say, oh, hashtag not my Ariel, that is not my girl. It's the entertainment industry that puts out like white fair skinned is good, is better, you know, you're not pretty unless you have white fair skin. And this is not only in Korea and China. I know this is in India, I know this is in Singapore, it's in a lot of those Asian countries. And so that's something that they definitely need to work on. I don't think it's them being racist either, because I know when I went to Korea, I had a wonderful time, a wonderful experience. And then in China, it gained attention as well, with it currently has 2.5 stars on Douban. Douban is like, think of it as Rotten Tomatoes. So it got a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Before I read this, my Chinese is not as good as my Korean, so I apologize in advance. While it received 2.5 stars on Douban, a lot of the Chinese audience were boycotting the movie as well. And in this article it states, 多名推特网友还呼吁转发不是我的Ariel标签，记着真人版小美人鱼，并在社交媒体上留言攻击饰演小美人鱼的演员. We struggled through that, but it's okay. So this is basically saying, so a lot of the Chinese audience not only boycotted the movie, but they started the hashtag 不是我的Ariel, which is not my Ariel, and then they also were going online and sending hate comments to the actor. I'm not saying this is exclusively China. I know a lot of people in America had this same reaction, like, they're not about to give us a black Ariel. Went on Twitter and gave a lot of hate comments as well. We're just focusing on, they have such a messed up image of what beauty is. We're focusing on the fact that this is the outcome. Now, you can see the actual impact the beauty standards are having on the people. The types of comments that people are posting were things like this. 我最喜欢的迪士尼公主就是Ariel。我高中教了3年的网面就是Ariel。想染红头发也是因为Ariel。你给我搞个黑皮Ariel。So this is saying my favorite Disney princess is Ariel. For 3 years in high school, my online name was Ariel, and I wanted to dye my hair red just for Ariel. And you give me a black Ariel? Like, doesn't that sound crazy? Come on, her skin's a couple shades lighter and you're really arguing. And you give me a black Ariel? My favorite princess was... It just seems a bit much, you know, just for somebody's skin color to be different. She wasn't speaking another language. She didn't look too much different. She still had red hair. I mean, she still had a fin. I just don't understand. Another comment, I think this comment is crazy, bro. Listen to this. 迪士尼别换小美人别，我最喜欢Ariel了。Please don't change Little Mermaid. Favorite princess is Ariel. Really, bro? It's not that big of a deal. It was never that serious. I would get it if they changed a whole movie into this African themed thing. They're like near the African coast, the West Coast. They're speaking another language. They look totally different. They like have tribal marks on now, and they're this like tribal African princess mermaid thing, but her name is Ariel. It's supposed to be the Little Mermaid movie. I would get it. Fine. You know, it is not the same movie. Complain all you want. But for her to just be a little shade darker, a couple of shades darker, and you to be upset this much, I mean, doesn't this really show you something about their industry and what the media is putting out to them and teaching them? It's not right, because they can't really see it themselves. That this is a problem. They think like it's a perfectly rational thing to argue about this. Like, not reasonable at all. It's really weird. Hopefully some people can watch this video and be like, you know what? Maybe it is kind of weird. It's still the Little Mermaid. It is still the Little Mermaid. I mean, I'm not saying this to bash any culture or country. I'm saying this to bash the media. What the media puts out and what the media teaches them. And obviously, like I was saying, not everyone hated the movie. there's this random person who loved the movie. He says, 在观看了前半小美人鱼后，首先我必须赞扬哈利的Ariel表演，她的演女儿很有良心，感染力非常强，是声音中的一大亮点. So this person went and watched the movie, and he's hecka excited about it. He loved it. He thought she had a beautiful voice. Acting was great. It was very, mystical, like the movie should be, and he liked it. And so I bring up this positive review because it's always risky when talking about race and, talking about the negatives, and I don't want to only focus on the negatives. And I think we should all just take this time to reflect on ourselves, you and me alike, whether we hated the movie, loved the movie, or didn't care, because honestly, it's just a movie with an actor who happens to be black. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more content from this beautiful brown skin girl, make sure to subscribe down below. Click notifications bell if you haven't already. And I'm Sappy. Bye.